My name is Vicki McGrath, and I'm here today with Bill Allport and with Miguel Hernandez. And we're going to be talking with you a little bit about a conference that we went to in Cleveland Heights, Ohio in March of this year, 2018. The conference was called Evangelism Matters. Yes, you heard that right, Evangelism Matters. And it was a conference put on by the Presiding Bishop's Office. And this conference grew out of understanding that evangelism is really important, a really important training tool for the Jesus movement, which of course the Presiding Bishop talks all about. So there were 400 of us gathered from all over the Episcopal Church, including some non-U.S. dioceses, and we went to see what it was all about, and in particular how it fits in with some other things that we've already been doing, particularly around going local and joining God in the neighborhood. And we really wanted to just go and find out more about evangelism in the Episcopal Church. So the three of us will all share in this conversation with you. I think it's important, first of all, to understand what evangelism isn't and what evangelism is. Evangelism, at least in the Episcopal Church, is not the thing we're always all afraid of. It's not about disrespecting people of other religions or no religion. It's not about standing on the street corner, handing out pamphlets, or knocking on doors. It's not about buttonholing people or make them feeling bad and saying, you're going to hell if you do not accept Jesus as your Savior. Evangelism in the Episcopal Church is, as we learned, is about being respectful, about being faithful, about being hopeful, about listening. And in fact, the definition that we were given, that the Presiding Bishop's staff has crafted, is one that really does fit in our world today. And so the definition of evangelism in the Episcopal Church is that it is the spiritual practice of seeking, naming, and celebrating the loving presence of Jesus in the stories of all people, and then inviting them to more. So that's the definition that we're working with. And I think I'm going to hand it off to Miguel to talk about some of his experiences and some of the things that he really saw and took away from in the conference.
The conference on Evangelism Matters was very important for me because I learned that there are many ways that we can reach people in our communities. We can use technology, we can use different resources, and one of the key points that they made is that the important things is to try to reach people. Even if we make mistakes, it's fine, because we're trying new things. And we need to know that it's only when we approach the other person we get to know them. So talking about Jesus in our settings is important, like in the soup kitchen, in the thrift shop, in all the places that we do ministry. We need to bring Jesus into the conversation with others.
So I want to share with you three things that I really found and reflected upon after the Evangelism Matters Conference. The first is how the conference really just represents an upwelling within the larger church, that it represented between the revivals that have been happening in different dioceses, this being the second Evangelism Matters Conference, and also the new leadership and the diverse faces that all gathered to be part of the conversation. Just the way the Spirit is working and moving across the whole church that we can be a part of. The second was that it wasn't just a pep rally for Jesus, a big gathering where everyone felt good and patted themselves on the back and then walked away. It was filled with just substantive resources like raising up leaders to be sent back to dioceses with diocesan catalysts, or free resources that you can get for yourself, for your congregation, or for your own ministry through the National Church at episcopalchurch.org/evangelism-initiatives. Also, that the work of evangelism as the National Church has helped guide and raise consciousness really fits within our work of joining God in the neighborhood and going local. That the work of meeting people where they are, seeing how God is at work in their lives, and journeying with them, developing relationships, listening. Like the work of the beloved storytelling that the National Church has invited people into is exactly what we're doing in the listening sessions and the different work in our congregations. So we can know that our work is part of a larger work, and the wonder of it is to be part of the Spirit's moving across through and with all of us. My takeaway from the conference was evangelism is sharing what we love with those we love.
The takeaway from the conference for me was to bring into the conversation Jesus in all the places that we do ministry, like in the soup kitchen, food pantry, and different places we can meet people and talk about Jesus and his love.
My takeaway from the conference was that all of this work of evangelism needs to be undergirded with prayer, personal prayer and corporate prayer, and it all leads up to what the presiding bishop said so clearly, which is that the work of evangelism is done not to build a bigger church, but to build a better world. We invite you, if you've heard anything in this video today that you're intrigued about or want to know more about or are enthusiastic about or feel moved by the Spirit, to be in touch with any of the three of us. We'd love to have a conversation with you. We'd love to talk with you, pray with you, to learn more about the work of the Spirit in evangelism in the Episcopal Church.